Always hike with proper supplies and equipment. Remember, flippy floppies may lead to slippy sloppies.
I'm Trizzy.
And I'm Leah.
And this is Ticket to Anywhere podcast, bringing you the gear, tools, and tips to equip you for a travel-filled life.
No matter your travel experience or lack thereof, we aim to be your first stop when you're thinking of where to go, how to get there, what to bring, and what to do.
Catch the latest episode every other Wednesday on YouTube or your favorite listening app.
We'd love to connect with you. Find Ticket to Anywhere on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Trizzy at TrizzInc.
And I'm Leah, LA in Flight. And today we have a light, fun episode for you. It's like reading mean tweets. Y'all know that?
Yeah.
It's like reading mean tweets, except none of them are mean at all.
They're just very witty, very funny, all thanks to the National Park Service.
Trizzy's like a huge fan.
Yeah.
If you know us, you've been following the podcast, you've been following us individually, you know, super outdoorsy, big fan of the National Park Service, National Park System in the US.
Yeah.
And they're super smart and
gosh, they're
so
good.
funny online. Like props to the social media manager.
For real. Who knows if they're volunteer, because you volunteer as a national park ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if this account is like somebody's paying for a social media manager or if people are just volunteering. But whatever it is, the captions, the posts, the tweets are always on point.
Yeah. So we decided to take those and read a few of them throughout this episode and then kind of give our anecdotes, stories, and tips on them to those with any level of national park experience or exposure.
Yes, definitely. And look out, in the future, we will be releasing more about national parks. And we just wanted to open up with this fun, light, entertaining episode.
Yep, absolutely. So 2024 will be filled with a lot more national park episodes. And we're excited that we're going to incorporate this beautiful system into Ticket to Anywhere podcast. Keep an eye and an ear out for those.
Yes.
But, you know, before we get started on these trails and heading to national parks, we always need the coffee and the tea.
Yes, definitely. Especially in the tea, if you're camping out in the national parks, you need some warm. Like tea for Maui, for instance, tea is at night and then coffee's in the morning for her.
Oh, yeah.
Warm throughout the whole day, throughout the whole night.
Love that. What you got there, Trizzy?
My tea for today is a jasmine tea. It is brewed out of a jasmine flower. Ooh. So I love the taste of jasmine. It's light.
I love it. I love the smell of it too.
Yeah, it makes me feel so comfortable and at
good.
ease and at peace.
Okay. I made a concoction out of everything because I usually do. But it's literally like Nescafe instant coffee, which is usually forbidden here in the US, but it's like from Asia, an Asian brand. And then I just put some hazelnut, no calorie, no fat syrup in it, and then a little bit of Trizzy's homemade almond milk from her almond cow.
Yes.
So cheers to the warmth. Cheers to 2024 and talking about national parks.
Cheers.
First tweet. The Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument became the country's 425th national park today, on the 82nd anniversary of Emmett Till's birth. The new national monument includes sites in the Mississippi Delta and in Chicago. Now, this was posted on July 25th, 2023, so just a few months ago. But for someone who's been to a lot of national parks, but when I was much younger, and is kind of out of tune, out of touch with them now, like I don't really seek them out, I thought there were only like 60-something national parks. So I was confused by this tweet saying 425. We looked it up and confirmed that there are actually 425 national park sites, but only 63 of them have the national park designation in the name. Mm-hmm. So the other sites, the other hundreds, right, fall into different national park system categories like historic sites, national monuments, national seashores, national recreation areas, etc. So I was confused on the number because there's a big discrepancy.
Yeah. And I feel like no matter, because the world is always expanding, national parks are always expanding, you could be an avid national park goer, but still be surprised at something like this, like a fact like this. Because I'm just like 400. Damn, that is a lot.
It's a lot. So, it's really cool though.
Yeah.
That, you know, something you may be visiting in a city is like a national historic monument or a national seashore,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah. The first time I went to Ellis Island, I didn't know it was part of like the National Park Service.
Oh, I didn't know. I learned something new right now.
So when we went, like, I think 4 years ago was my last time I was in New York. I took my parents out to Ellis Island, and you have that placard
That's
out
so
there.
cool.
And I was just like, what? This
Historic.
is insane. Yeah. It's crazy.
Real cool.
And
right.
9 of the 63 national parks are located in California.
The best state. Come fight me. Come fight me in the DM. The best state.
She ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. We ready. She's like, I'm not so ready. Leave me out of this.
Just hit her DMs, you know, LA in flight.
LA in flight, hit the DMs.
But if you want to hit my DMs for this, the best time to enjoy the night sky is usually at night. Thank you, National Park Service. Basically, we're just reading like tweets and posts from National Park Service, and they're just hilarious. And hit my DMs for the best night skies, because I've experienced Joshua Tree. Loved it. That was like my first time. That's the first place that I've realized how dark a sky could be.
Really?
Yeah.
In Joshua Tree?
Yeah. But then people are like, that's not even the darkest sky.
Yeah,
and
probably
I'm like,
not.
Darker?
I could see that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little too much light from LA and San Diego out there.
Yeah. I feel it. But then also I enjoyed Zion National Park. Their night skies there too.
Okay.
And Death Valley. So those are like the 3. I said 3 and I held up 4 fingers. Those are the 3 that I suggest. But one park that I have not gone to is the North Cascades National Park in Washington. I think it's like 2-3 hours away from Seattle. Okay. And it's always been something recently that I've tried to go to because you could catch the Northern Lights there. Between November and March.
That's super cool.
Yes. I know. And I keep telling my family, like, take your kids there.
Yeah.
Go.
They're like, no, we need you up here.
I know. I'm like, y'all don't need me, but sure, I'll take you guys.
All right. Next tweet. This is more about etiquette. Hikers coming uphill usually have the right of way. If you're descending, step aside and give space to the people heading up. Smile and tell them not to worry about spider webs because your tall friend already found them all, which even we're not tall. Trizzy and I seem to find, first off, Trizzy and I seem to find spider webs no matter what, no matter where we are. I'll literally be walking in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Running into spider webs.
Exactly. Somebody will be in front of me, and then for some reason, I still get the full face of spider webs.
Right. And then, okay, so we're talking about etiquette. I don't know national park etiquette. I just know pick up after yourself and don't step off the trail for the main things, right? But did like hikers coming uphill, I don't know, I guess I would think if you're descending, you have more speed. Yeah. So like watch out for the downhill.
I agree, which that actually was like a surprise to me when I saw that. I always thought it was the people going down because, like you said, you're in a hurry to get down.
When you're downhill, you're just natural momentum, right?
Yeah. And if you're going up, you want to take a break. You're like, okay, go ahead. Yeah, you guys go first.
Right. And we were talking before we hit record just about how, I mean, going in and out of doors and spaces is very different from uphill versus downhill. But like, you know, when you're emptying an elevator or you're coming in and out of somewhere, usually the people like come out first, whatever it is. The elevator, the train, if they're coming out of the gym, I can think I went to the gym this morning, so it's like you let people out first. Yeah. So I would think, going downhill first. But, you know, National Park Service says hikers going uphill, and it says usually have the right of way. Okay. So maybe there are certain circumstances, but I guess you wouldn't really know until you're on the trail. Yeah. What feels right? What feels right?
Yeah. If it's wide, I mean, of course, these are for trails that are very narrow. Yeah. But if it's wide enough, then everyone can high five each other.
Yeah. Wide high five.
Yes.
As you're passing.
Let's sing our own song about the joys of staying indoors. Ooh. Quote unquote SpongeBob SquarePants. National Park, you guys are crazy. So there are ways for people to enjoy national parks, but like to stay indoors. They have visitor centers, they have museums there, they have exhibit galleries. You could tour historic homes and learn about like the rich histories that they have around there, attend film and documentary screenings. Like, you don't always have to go to a national park just to like hike.
Be
Although
outdoors.
that is the cherry on top. That is.
It is. But let's talk about really quick backtrack on why you'd want to stay indoors.
Mhm.
Inclement weather,
Mhm.
say you're sunburned, say you can't deal with terrain because of mobility issues. There's lots of reasons why you may need to stay inside or indoors.
Yeah.
Or like in California right now, there's mosquitoes attacking everybody. So maybe, even though mosquitoes can get inside.
Yeah.
But there's lots of reasons why you'd want to stay indoors, which is, why NPS, National Park Service, made recommendations.
Mhm.
Like what you can do. And
Exactly. And I love how they did that.
Mhm.
It's just like, oh, it doesn't have to be so outdoors for the first timers who are nervous about it. It's like,
not even that. Think of your older parents who can't be out in the sun. Like
Yeah.
there's so many reasons and so many groups of people who would need to stay indoors. And the purpose of National Park System and Service, they want to try to make the outdoors as accessible as possible to everybody.
Yeah.
That includes whether you're 2 years old or 92 years old.
Yeah.
So I think that's super smart. Also, I go indoors at every national park. I go to the bathroom in the visitors center.
Oh my
so.
gosh. Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Visitor center, go use their flush toilets there with running water.
Ooh, yes. It's clutch. You always like visit it on the way in and on the way out,
Mhm.
I feel like.
Yeah. And if you guys are like the souvenir type of people,
Mhm.
visitor center usually have like a gift store you could stop in and
Maps.
pick up. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the maps are
Water
very key.
refills.
Mm-hmm.
Many reasons to visit the visitors center.
Yes. I would say Mount Rainier is probably one of like the more fun visitor centers that I visited.
Oh,
yeah, it's
uh-huh.
nice. They have like a cafe at the bottom, and then on
Mhm.
the top it's like this beautiful view
Wow.
of Mount Rainier and a museum there, and it's very interactive too. That's fun for moi.
I love it. Okay, cool. All right. Last tweet from me. Always hike with proper supplies and equipment. Remember, flippy floppies may lead to slippy sloppies. I kind of hate that rhyme, but the reason I thought this was funny is because, one, it's true. Two, is because silly me straight up did hike with flip-flops. Not a national park, but in Thailand.
Mhm.
I was in Chiang Mai in the north, and me and my friend booked a multi-part excursion, but a one-day excursion. So we were going to hike to a waterfall, hang out at the waterfall, swim. Then we were going to go whitewater rafting down the river to an elephant sanctuary.
Oh,
So very, very active
Yeah.
day, and then spend the rest of the day at elephant sanctuary. For some reason, my mind was so laser focused on the waterfall and like swimming there and like
Mhm.
being accessible, like in my bathing suit and my sarong. So like that's where I decided to hike in.
Okay.
And we were going over rocks, through rivers, over bridges, like climbing things. And I'm like, why in the world? I looked like I was going to a beach club in Bali. I didn't look like I was hiking through the wilderness of Thailand. So, important PSA, always be prepared. Like, I wish I would have just brought all my swim stuff
Right.
and worn my hiking stuff. The hike
Mhm.
wasn't that bad, but also I'm just thinking about how easily I could have twisted an ankle in my
Right?
Havaianas.
Yeah, or having like a toe get cut.
I was brave and courageous
Yeah.
6 years ago. I was young and vibrant. No, nothing to lose.
Right. But now you're sporting the Tevas. Do you think Tevas would have gotten you all the way through?
100%.
Yeah.
Teva, and I wouldn't even like batted an eye. They're so
Yeah.
sturdy.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, do you have any stories of hiking in improper equipment? Probably not.
Well,
You're so prepared all the time.
Yeah, I try to be prepared. I've hiked with my water shoes before.
Oh,
And I
okay.
feel as though sometimes those aren't the best.
Yeah.
If it's just specific to being water shoes rather than like a water trekking shoes,
Right.
there's complete different.
Right,
Yeah.
right. How long were you hiking in them for?
1.5 miles.
Oh,
and it
that's
was
kind of
also
a
to like a
Oh, yeah.
waterfall too. So we're scrambling rocks and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something like that. But there's a lot of shoes out there that can accommodate for that whole trip that you just
Mhm.
described, right? Vessi waterproof shoes. I heard some like that is a very popular
yeah.
shoes
But they look
that's
like
coming up.
streetwear. They look like
Yeah.
streetwear.
But I think they have trail shoes as well.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, these streetwear shoes that look like the Stan Smiths? I'm like, what?
No, and also on running, they also
Yes.
have like water resistant, waterproof, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hiking,
sense.
running, travel lifestyle. So
Okay.
all the all sorts of variety that you could
Alright.
choose from.
Okay.
But we're gonna end with, it's okay if you fall apart sometimes. S'mores fall apart and we still love them. Just a little encouragement for you. If any of you guys are beginner outdoorsy person,
Like me, like LA in flight.
you are loved by Mother Nature as long as you treat Mother Nature with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Leave no trace, don't feed the animals, and just have fun. Always have a smile on your face because you're outdoors. Vitamin D, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So look out for more national park episodes from Ticket to Anywhere in 2024, and we hope you enjoyed this light, fun, and short one.
This is Trizzy at TrizzInc.
This is Leah at LA in Flight.
To find even more travel tips on budgeting, destinations, and our favorite items, sign up for our monthly newsletter, The Check-In, linked in the show notes or description.
This is the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. Thanks for listening.